Today's, it was like almost unanimous. Everybody voted for the exact same thing, which is watching me build a week concepts from scratch live on a real brand. So we are going to go into it. This is going to be super fun. I love this type of stuff. This is like one of my favorite things to do, honestly, is just like how creative can we get with things that are happening in the ad account. So we are going to pretend for this particular use case that we have a winner. And this is for a brand. I should probably bring them up actually. Autobrush, really good friend of mine. These guys, Autobrush, they have been around for quite a long time. They have this really cool like U-shaped kind of a brush. And Chris is a really good friend of mine. He is the owner of the brand, and I've worked with him several times, honestly, to do a bunch of UGC work. We did a round of tests for this particular brand. Let me make sure you guys can hear this preview. And I'm going to show you the original ad, and then we're going to walk through how to use, like I said, some of the stuff in school, how to analyze it, how to break it down so that we can make better winners from it on our next test. So I have to share my audio. So this is the winning ad, and then we're going to go through a scenario in just a second. Watch in here. I want you guys to look closely at, like, if you can see some of the other things that we've taught in the last couple of weeks. I could see one in particular, 300 millisecond hook right at the top. And again, this was before I knew any of that psychology stuff. So this was like not on purpose, but really good 300 millisecond hook here. Okay, here we go. Thought we were doing a great job of keeping our 4-year-old's teeth clean. He doesn't need a lot of sugary snacks. We don't drink soda. We just got back from the dentist, and he's got his first cavity. One of my good mom friends suggested we try the Autobrush, which is a whole mouth toothbrush for kids. We've been brushing it for about a week now with the Autobrush, and I can actually tell a difference in like his breath in the morning. It's kind of amazing. He even tells me that his mouth feels cleaner. The best part about them is they've been clinically proven to remove plaque on your kids' teeth. We use this every day now. This is my go-to brush. Okay, so very quintessential ad. This is very direct response-y. Again, there's some interesting stuff I want to break down in this particular ad, but for this use case, we're going to say that this ad really good out the gate, which these numbers are fairly accurate to what it was when we first launched it. Frequency of 1.2, hook rate of 40%, dropped their CPA by 20% in the ad account, and that was within about a week. I'm going to go through and like dissect a few things out of this ad, and then we're going to throw it through the paces, and we're going to trash it, and we're going to walk through and try and decide how should we go about developing our next set of ads for Autobrush based upon this one. So this is really interesting because I tested this with different hooks. This was back at a time where we were doing a ton of hook testing in UGC. So I had the back end exactly the same, and I was just like swapping out this particular frame basically, and the voiceover that went to about second 3-ish. The mouth won every single time, and we ran, we probably did like 15 different iterations of this. Second thing I'd like to call out is the story itself. You've got this good hook of like inner mouth, stops the scroll. Great. Good voiceover, calling out the actual person, qualification. The second thing we're hitting, though, is the person who's going to be using it, not the person who's going to be buying it. He's in the right age range. The other thing that I did on purpose was I captured a piece of my house. You guys get to see it in my house this time. That's messy on purpose. This house is not pristine, right? We've got this like weird cartoon thing in there in the kids' bathroom, and like just a random towel. And like you can see in our dining room, which is kind of nice, but like there's stuff all over the table. In general, I'm trying to make the scenes look like mom, because that tells Meta a lot about who it's supposed to send this ad to. If you have a good ad and you can dissect all these pieces out of it, we need to take the pieces and reconstruct them into something new. So that's what we're going to do today. So for the winner, we are going to try and map this out. So I kind of want to get your guys' gut feeling on this, where you think this sits in trigger evaluation, exploration of purchase. And for those of you who don't have like a good context of this, you haven't been through the course yet, this has to do more with where your customer is in their behavioral journey, not necessarily how aware they are. I don't really care about how aware you are, because you can be hyper aware of a product and still not want to buy it. Case in point, I am hyper aware of Coke, but I don't really drink soda, so I'm just never going to buy it. I'd rather get very, very keyed in on what kind of behavior they're exhibiting. Okay, so when I say trigger, I mean, this is the person who like understands that their kid doesn't like brushing their teeth, but something just happened they're like, I just can't do this anymore. Like I have to do something about this because I'm done dealing with this problem. Your ad needs to earn their attention if you're going to make one in this particular campaign. Expiration needs to earn their understanding, meaning a lot of people don't know that there is a U-shaped toothbrush that can literally remove plaque just as well as like a normal toothbrush. Lots of people don't even know this product exists. So this is a lot of just explaining the industry and the brush itself. Evaluation is where we earn belief. So this is where we need to start to help people understand what it is that we are doing that's better than everything else in the industry. Why auto brush exists, right? And how we're better than everybody else. Purchase obviously is just straight purchase ad. On the scale, do you guys want to tell me where you think this ad sits? Is it an exploration ad, purchase ad, trigger ad? What kind of ad is this? Do you guys know? You can always just put it in the chat too.
Bottom of exploration.
Oh, okay. So you're about like right here.
I mean, yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody have like a different take on it? We can always watch it again if you guys want to. Evaluation, exploration. Okay, let's watch it one more time and you guys can tell me. Here we go. Thought we were doing a great job of keeping our 4-year-old's teeth clean. He doesn't need a lot of sugary snacks. We don't drink soda. We just got back from the dentist and he's got his first cavity. One of my good mom friends suggested we try the auto brush, which is a whole mouth toothbrush for kids. We've been brushing it for about a week now with the auto brush, and I can actually tell a difference in like his breath in the morning. It's kind of amazing. He even tells me that his mouth feels cleaner. The best part about them is they've been clinically proven to remove plaque on your kids' teeth. We use this every day now. This is my go-to brush. You guys have an idea?
I stand by my
exploration.
Exploration.
Image is like in the bottom of exploration, almost evaluation. What do you guys think?
Yeah, because my friend recommended this. This is like the crossover.
Yep. So I would probably say you're probably right. It's somewhere at the bottom of exploration. People are they understand there's toothbrushes, right? Nothing really like giant big has happened in their life recently. This is just something they're constantly experiencing. And they've been looking for a new toothbrush for a minute or possibly a long time. I don't have control over that, but I do have control over the fact that like I can kind of help them explore a little bit more about the options. This is a person that's pretty well informed.
What if you take the part of like, we just came back from the doctor and he just had the first cavity and put that as a hook? Would that make it a trigger ad?
Yes, that would make it a trigger ad. Yep, 100%. Yep, because you're starting and leading in with the storytelling mechanism of something just happened. I personally believe every single video we create should be its own mini movie, micro movies. I'm like a big fan of micro movies. In movies, the music changes all the time. It never stays the same. I don't know why we decided in marketing, especially in performance, that like we choose one music and never change it. I'm weirded out by that, but that's a story for another time. Okay, we're going to go through, we're going to transcribe this guy, mostly because I want to show you very, very quick, simple hack for trying to figure out how should we duplicate the story, right? Okay. So we've got some of the cool things coming out of here. I really want to use the picture of the mouth. I probably want to use a picture of happy, satisfied customer and maybe just of the hippo. But what I need to know is what did we actually communicate in here? Because I mean, without going through and actually just dissecting every single ad, sometimes you got like 15 you need to process out real quick. Taken, interesting thing. Scrubbed it all out, right? Transcribe it and Claude. Next, or Gemini. Next thing I'm going to ask it is, let's see, tell me the core messages we communicated. This is a really simple prompt. I'm not going to ask it any more than that. Just like, tell me the core messages. What did you see in here that we actually communicated so that I can, one, double check myself intuitively. And two, I want to see what it thought was in this video, because that's exactly what Meta's like analyzers are also kind of looking for when they go through and look at the message itself. I kind of want a computer, to tell me what angle. What are the angles inside here? So yes, good call. Here we go. So traditional brushing can fail even with good habits. Yes, I'd say that's accurate. Ease of use, immediate noticeable results, clinical validation, and child approval. Yeah, I'd say all three of those are probably good things. Yeah, it analyzed it pretty well. This was also a very short script, obviously. If it was a longer video, we could probably do more with it. Now we have our angles in here. This is what actually came out of the UGC. We're going to develop a new ad from this. When you go into the school, there's lots of really interesting things in here that I just keep dumping in more resources. If it's overwhelming, I apologize. I get excited. All of this stuff up here, obviously, is to help you guys basically go through the core knowledge of what it is to be, obviously, a creative strategist. Couple things that are really interesting, though. We have an ad concept library here. This is the one that we're going to be using for this tutorial. These are not necessarily prompts that are going to get you full scripts. They're just supposed to get you interesting ideas. I find ideas to be the hardest part of this entire process, is just like, how many different ways can I communicate ease of use and immediate noticeable results before it drains out of my brain? I can only say like traditional brushing can fail so many times until that's it. I got nothing else left. So this particular library, Ad Concept Prep Library, is super, super helpful to get you guys closer, right, to more interesting creative results. Now, one of the things that are I've built in here, these are all based upon basically 2 different psychological mechanisms. The reason there's 2 is because one makes it kind of stagnant. I've tested this many, many, many ways. And using just one psychological premise usually gives you very stale kind of concepts. Using 2, though, similar to how like valence kind of runs through a bunch of different zones and it's much more interesting. Same thing with like psychology principles. If you match 2 together, you get really interesting results. What I'd usually do, and you could probably actually just ask Gemini in here. So I took a screenshot, I'll show you what it is, of literally just like what's in here, just for your guys' knowledge. Usually I'll just do this myself by hand. I don't need the screenshot for it, but copy and paste a screenshot in here and then ask Gemini, Claude, whoever you're doing this with, choose a selection that matches these angles best. So what I'm asking it to do is look at this list and choose one of these psychological pairings that matches what we found in here. I know the one that I would probably choose. I'm interested to see what it's going to choose. This will be really interesting if it chooses something different than I would. And sometimes that comes up with an even better test, so we'll have to see. I really wanted to go over toward pattern disruption because of the visuals and because of the hidden truths in here, but not a bad idea, honestly, to go after micro story and what ifs. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take one of these, not all 3 of them together, just because it'll get really crazy long. We're going to take one of these over into Claude, and then we're going to just say, if my angle is this, run this. So here's my angle. Traditional brushing can fail. We're going to go through and do the first one that it told us to do, which is micro story and suspense. There we are. This guy. So real quick, just copy the whole thing, paste it right in there. So all I have told it to do is my angle. This is the one that came directly from the video that won. This is the reason why it was working. Here's a prompt for you. All I want you to do is just develop new concepts based upon this particular angle and then let it do its magic. All I'm trying to do is come up with new concepts because at this point, like I can't come up with enough interesting ways to say traditional brushing could fail. So I'm going to have Claude do it for me, and then I will pick the one that I like the best, basically. I always love using these because the stuff that comes up with is stuff that I'm like, I would have never thought of that. So concept 1 in here, oh, this is so good. The face that the dentist makes, I'm like, I would have never thought of that. Like every parent knows the face that dentist makes when like your kid's mouth opens and he's like, That's actually a really like a lived experience for me. So yeah. So opening on a parent who did everything by the book, a kid in the chair, or like a parent point of view. I have heard this phrase in almost every single dentist appointment with my kids, and you never want to hear it. It's almost never bad, but you don't like that phrase. Like, so mom, can I show you something real quick? Because it's this moment of like, oh shit, like he's got a cavity, doesn't he? I know he's got a cavity. And then, yeah, go back into like just the original kind of like, we do everything right. Hard cut to a dentist that's like, so here's the thing. I actually really like this concept. I think this would make a really, really good ad. Starting with like, mom, can I show you something real quick? And possibly opening with this. A couple more concepts in here. What the light showed, oh my gosh, a visual violation of expectation. Kid brushes, beams a perfect smile, and then a plaque discoloring revealed light. The exact same spot, yeah, shows all the places that the brush never reached. This would be really interesting. I've seen a couple brands do like blacklight tests for cleaning products, and it's like really eye-opening. This is a really good concept too, actually. She already brushed, right? I watched her do it. Like, it was fine. Everything looked good, but definitely this is what a clean mouth actually looks like. This is a really, really, really good one. These two concepts I'd probably send straight to some creators this week just to be like, go try it, because this is amazing what the light showed. Concept number 3, it wasn't how long she brushed. Reframe the nightly the brushing battle. Turning point isn't the cavity. It's the realization that the fight was never the real problem. This one is a little flat for me. Oh yeah, High Smile does that. Yeah, like dirt and like light on different things. Interesting. I don't like this one because I feel like this is something a lot of people do. Every night it's the same fight. Every night I told myself 2 minutes is 2 minutes. Like this, I just from knowing the industry is overdone. So I'd probably not do concept 3. And you'll find this a couple times when you run some of these prompts. Two of them are probably going to be way better than the last one. So you use your good judgment as a creative strategist to sit and think, do I need to run all of these? Probably not.
What you just saw is a conversation between myself, an 8-figure founder, a media buyer, and a creative strategist while we worked to kind of uncover some of the creative challenges that they are facing. And we do live calls like this every single week inside the Tether Lab, which is my school community. Once you join, you're going to get access to all of my trainings. You're going to get the knowledge behind 6 years and 150 plus brand consultations that I've done. And you're also going to get one-on-one support from me. So if you want to go learn more, you can go to school.com/tether-lab, or you can click the link in the description.